Patricia, thank you more than anything for taking the time to make this campaign and run for this critical office, because this is a critical office. I'll be very brief in my presentation, but let me just start off by saying this week in Montgomery, and I spent about 2 days every week in Montgomery during the session working on mainly Common Core, because it has been the critical issue. Common Core is dead in Montgomery. It's not dead in Alabama. It's still in the schools in Alabama, and we hope by the November and in January, when Patricia wins, along with 2 other candidates, of course, Betty Peters to be reelected in her district, and then Mike Parsons, who's running up in a district against a lady by the name of Mary Scott Hunter. All the ones that are running against these 3 people I just mentioned are all Common Core advocates. So we need to get all 3 of them in and get them elected. So we're not done with Common Core. We're going to continue to fight, because it's arsenic in Alabama is what it boils down to. I'm going to show you a brief PowerPoint, and I'll be glad to answer questions later on after it's over with. Anybody want to do a sidebar or whatever. And I have some material here that we'll set up front you can look at later on also. But I'm going to go through some facts real quick with you. I'm not going to get into the great details of Common Core. There's videos that are on YouTube that done. I have some videos over here if you'd like to take them with you on presentations about these facts. But the one main fact is federally controlled. A lot of us testified before the Senate committee this past Tuesday. There's one thing that no one on the other side has ever tried to find out if it's not, or if it is, or whatever. We have proven that it's federally controlled. So nobody ever goes against that statement. It was not written by the states. It was written by 5 individuals. All 5 of them donated to the Obama campaign. And by the way, they knew him before 2002. Interesting little story we won't go into. The standards control the curriculum. They control everything, textbooks, tests, and assessments. Somebody asked me about, well, what are you against in the standards? I don't know about you, but I've read a lot of these standards. And I've slept through most of them, because they are boring as far as that's concerned. We have some educators here that could read those standards and probably understand everything that's going on. The problem is that the Common Core standards is the mechanism that was used to open the back door to bring in all the textbooks with all their socialistic doctrine, all the curriculum, all the tests, and all the assessments. By the way, assessments, SAT, all the testing, ACT, Aspire, every one of them aligned with Common Core. Textbooks, Pearson, McGraw-Hill, all aligned with Common Core. Everything is aligned with Common Core. Textbooks are filled with socialism. We have a textbook we presented in Montgomery. I had actually gone through and flagged it. It looks like a sticky pad nightmare. A tornado hit it. It's just filled with socialistic indoctrination, environmentalism, anti-American, anti-Christian, pornography. Oh, pornography beyond measure in these books. How did this stuff get in here? It should have never made it to Alabama, but it did, and that's what we've got to stop. Creates emotional problems with children and teachers. We've had some psychiatrists come in and testify and talking about how the teachers and the children are going through all types of problems. State of New York has psychiatrists in each of their districts. They tripled in business, and the majority of that tripling is because of Common Core. And it will destroy our country if it's not stopped. Here's some misinformation. You hear this word, Alabama College and Career Ready? You probably have heard that. You don't hear the word Common Core. Well, Alabama decided to make a change to the name of Common Core. They had to accept 100% of Common Core. All 45 states that accepted Common Core accepted 100%. That's the only way they could do it. They were allowed to add up to 15%. Alabama added about 9% average to it. But none of those 9% are in the assessments, the testing, or the curriculum. And even Achieve, who runs Common Core, says it would not be in that. So what, you added 9% of each one. It is Common Core, folks. It's not Alabama College and Career Ready standards. You can take an arsenic bottle and put it on there and say it's Kool-Aid. Is it still arsenic? It's arsenic. These are better standards than Alabama had before. Well, Dr. Bice, head of the superintendent of the state of Alabama Board of Education made a statement. Common Core matched previous Alabama standards 92% for English language and arts and math 96%. When I was in school, you got A's and A pluses for those figures. So why did we have to go to a Common Core if we had such standards that was like it anyway? But yet they say, you don't want to go back to those old standards. Well, why not? You just told us they're the same. They're not exactly the same, by the way. Okay. Now, here's some other things. Who wants Common Core either stopped or the rollout completely delayed? True conservatives, number one in Alabama, who are willing to hear the truth, and that's a key word, who are willing to hear the truth. But we have some conservatives, I won't go into names right now, all of you know some of them if I name them, that don't want to hear the truth. 23 other states are trying to repeal or roll back Common Core. The NEA, the National Education Association, one of the most liberal groups on the face of this earth, has said we need to stop the rollout of Common Core. It has been a disaster. They were the ones that promoted it in the beginning. Now they want to stop it. Good for them. And New York State Teachers Union, 600,000 strong, retired and active teachers, are trying to stop the rollout of Common Core in New York State. Am I in the wrong state or what? I mean, the most liberal states in the union are trying to stop Common Core, and we're trying to stop Common Core here. And I don't get why some of our people don't see that. They're trying to actually impeach their superintendent of education. Many parents and teachers, and I have a book over here that has a load of parents and teachers that are speaking. By the way, isn't that beautiful? It's a beautiful wave. There's a lot of power behind the wave. You read about it in the scripture, the flood. Well, guess what? The Common Core tsunami is coming. It's actually here. And those in state leadership who do not take the heat of this warning, this is what's going to happen. It's going to destroy everything in its path, including our children. Now, this was a devastating situation here, and it is already happening, and it's not yet hit Alabama the way it's going to hit Alabama. This is the destruction that happened in the tsunami. This destruction is what's going to happen as the aftermath of Common Core. It could be irreversible if we don't stop it now. We have to stop it. We have to elect our Board of Education people that are in favor of the repeal and the stop of Common Core in the state of Alabama. This is what we've got to do. It's time for us to do something. We got Obamacare. We got Obama Core. By the way, Obama Core was admitted by his chief staff that this was an Obama initiative. We have those quotes, by the way. You won't see them. Give your time, your money, and your prayers to this young lady right here for Christian.